Hello, Dr. Tony here, Big Four Process, Change Your Thinking for a Happy Life with the wellness cards. And I wanted to thank you for visiting my channel. Please subscribe. Try to do a little bit more of these videos so I can start to really expand and really show what the potential of the wellness cards is. Again, our goal is happiness. That's our goal in life. So there's a list of things you can do for happiness. But what I want to talk about today is do what you love. That will help you with happiness. Don't, hope you remember, there's nothing missing in your life. Everything is just misplaced within your soul. Nothing's missing. God does not give you any more potential than the next person. God gives you 24 hours a day, just like he gives the next person 24 hours a day. It's what you do with those 24 hours a day. That's what's important. So what I want to talk about is why I had a patient come in and she's having problems with a family member. And the problems is, if things aren't going the way she wants them to go, and that's the way life is, all you can do is do your best as a parent. You do your best, and that's all you can work with. So what happened was with this patient, we did the Big Four process. Now remember, define your happiness. I'm not one for just sitting, meditating into the coherence of the force all around us, because we have internal blocks. And when you meditate, you need to know what you meditate on. So with being happy, the first thing you want to do is find out what's happiness to you. What is your own happiness? What makes you happy? And if you're not doing it, then you're not going to be happy. You got to find the good in everything in your life. People tell me, well, things go bad in my life, or I have situations. I just had a patient. I treat a lot of young kids. He's like 20 years old. He just got back from school, and although he didn't make the dean's list, he did get herpes. So the thing is with him is, like, he was upset, why did I get herpes and this and that? And it's funny because what part of that is also mental? Because according to Bruce Lipton, in the biology of belief, 5% of all diseases are genetic only. And even with the breast cancer gene, I mean, 90% of people have this gene, 95% never get breast cancer. So is it the gene, or is it the gene that's causing it? Or can we overpower our DNA by changing our DNA, by consciousness, by changing our thoughts? But to be happy, we're all works the same way. If it's about herpes or if it's about being happy, it's all the same thing. It's a consciousness. But my disagreement with a lot of the experts in the fields, you need to know what you are focusing on. You need to know what part of the mental. Again, so remember, there's 7 mentals. There's 7 mental aspects. I call them energy centers. We have, some people call them chakras. I call them energy centers. That's what they are. But there's 7 of them. And then we have 10 emotions. And then we have 12 block meridians. These are block areas. And then we have the location, the specific location of your block. So let's see about happiness. Now, if you feel guilty, obviously you can't be happy. So with this patient, we had to do the Big Four process, where we hook up the sacred geometry to connect her to the guards. And what happened with her was, what came up was, the mental for her was, I see. Okay, that's your 6th energy center. So that's seeing the future. And the emotion for her, which was interesting, is trust. Trust. And then the meridian, the physical part of the 4 parts, was the heart, and a specific location was blue, which is right in the shoulder area here. So what do these 4 cards mean with the Big Four? Finding your happiness. Change your thinking. Because if you don't change your thinking, you're going to do the same thing. Like Einstein said, you can't fix a problem with the same thinking that created it. The definition of the idiot is a person who does the same thing, expects different results. So here we have these four cards. Now, so the mental aspect is I see, and the emotional aspect is trust. She just trusts what she sees. So, and the physical block is in the heart. Because remember, to find your happiness with the wellness cards, we are a 4-part being. We are a spiritual being that has a mental image created from the spiritual thought, which produces an image in your mind. Think of a pink elephant, you think of it. That pink elephant will cause an emotion, which alters matter, changes spontaneous healing, or a paradigm shift. That's your 4 parts. So we have 3 of the 4. So in this case, when we do the meditation, again, here this woman can meditate on specifics, not meditate to God, whoever she meditates to, whoever you meditate to, and just hopefully at random find a block. So with her, she said, okay, so she just trusts her choices. Maybe they're wrong choices. Maybe she's giving this kid too much. Maybe she buys this kid a new car. Maybe she should change her thinking to change her happiness because she feels guilty. So let's shift that guilt by her. And you simply shift the guilt by saying, I see trust within myself. So what she would do is she would sit back, meditate on the mental, I see the 6th energy center, connecting with the 6th. We know we want to change distrust and suffering to trust. So she's going to see herself trusting herself in all her decisions. And guess what? If someone gets mad about it, that's too bad, because you have to be true to yourself. You can't change who you are. I mean, I want to start my cat rescue, and the thing is, cats, dogs, animals, a little bit different. They can only do one or two things. We can choose. Humans are the only species that can justify anything. And that's what I see in my practice all the time. People justify not only what they act, they justify their diseases. So what's interesting with this is, so what we're saying here is, I see, so she's going to picture herself seeing her trusting herself. Now, as she's doing that, since we have the heart block, so she's going to visualize all this negative suffering, draining. So she'll meditate, she'll say to herself, she goes in meditative state. Anyway, she does it. I see myself trusting myself, and let her visualize trusting herself. And she's saying she's trusting herself. I want her to visualize all of the distrust, suffering, draining out of this block, just draining into the earth, into the earth to be recycled and changed. So she would say to herself, I see myself trusting. Just picture herself trusting herself. And I will guarantee you, when you do this, you will start to shift. And then lots of times, some of my patients will feel a little twitch. That means they shift. You're connecting with the coherence, but you know what you're connecting on. So to find happiness, you got to start, peel back that onion. Nothing is missing in your life. It's only misplaced in your soul. I can't stress that anymore. So as she visualizes her seeing, trusting, seeing myself, trusting myself, and then she can throw in there changing the decisions she's making with her son. Wow. And you feel it draining. That's what's so neat about dogs and cats. Unconditional love. You go to the mailbox, you come back, and they act like you've been gone for a week. It's just a great way of just being. So I want to thank you for visiting me, and the website's coming along. If you have any questions, please email me at questionforhealth@gmail.com. That's questionforhealth@gmail.com. And the wellness cards are going to be going on my website, findyourblocks.com. And we're going to get through. I want to change the world with this stuff, because I know it makes sense to me. Again, may not make sense to you, and that's fine, because we're all individuals. But I want to thank you kindly for just being here today, and just being part of this growing philosophy and process of the Big Four. Thank you again, and have a great one.